Underlying love, beneath the surface it lies, in the whispers of secrets and unspoken ties, caught between the heart's gentle tug and the dance of romance, in the arms of love.
You are listening to Bradley Barkhurst's Underlying Love, a Worthington, Ohio mystery. Chapter 13, Part 1, A Towering Holiday Party. As soon as school got out, Elizabeth rushed home. The holiday break was to begin the following afternoon. Elizabeth arrived at Betty's to help her prepare for the Christmas party, even though it would just be the three of them.
My, this is a feast,
Elizabeth remarked, eyeing the heaping platters of turkey, casseroles, and of course, Betty's famous Jell-O dessert.
Nonsense, you two are my dearest friends, practically family. You deserve a holiday banquet.
Betty tutted. Elizabeth smiled.
Well, since it's just us, I want you to open your gift now.
She handed Betty a neatly wrapped box. Unwrapping it eagerly, Betty gasped when she saw the black fascinator hat from Lazarus she had admired.
How on earth did you sneak this without me noticing?
She exclaimed.
I had Samuel pick it up for me.
Elizabeth admitted.
I knew you had to have it.
Betty gave her a fierce hug.
You darling girl!
Elizabeth was glad to see Betty so delighted. It was getting dark out, and soon Samuel arrived.
Sorry I'm late, ladies. The snow is really picking up out there,
he said, stomping the slush off his boots.
They say we're getting blizzard conditions.
Well, hurry inside where it's warm,
Betty exclaimed. The wind howled outside as if to emphasize her point. Once Samuel had removed his snow-dusted outerwear, they settled in the parlor, where a fire crackled cheerily against the storm brewing outside.
My Betty, what a hearty spread, and I adore that lovely hat,
Samuel said, admiring the work that Betty had put into the feast.
Thank you, Samuel. Elizabeth got me this hat. I adore it,
replied Betty. As the snow came down, the real joy was in their warm company on this special night. Gazing around the table, Elizabeth's heart brimmed with gratitude. This was the true gift of the season. Samuel asked.
So what's the secret behind this famous Jell-O dessert, Betty? It looks like lemon chiffon pie.
Oh, it's quite simple, really,
she explained.
It's called This Side of Paradise Pudding. I got the recipe from People's Home Journal. It is lemon Jell-O, almonds, marshmallows, macaroons, and whipped cream. Then I place maraschino cherries on top.
It looks so magical and delicious,
Elizabeth said. Slicing the paradise pudding, whose layers glistened festively, Betty poured eggnog.
A toast to friends,
she proclaimed, lifting her glass.
To friends.
To friends,
Elizabeth and Samuel echoed, clinking their glasses. Nothing could ruin this snug scene filled with love, laughter, and the sweetness of Betty's dessert. The blizzard only seemed to make their camaraderie cozier. After admiring her new hat, Betty called.
Come now, let's eat before the food gets cold.
Just then, a loud knock made them jump.
Who could that be in this sort of weather?
Questioned Betty. Samuel opened the door, but it was only the wind howling outside as the blizzard raged on.
Goodness, what a fright,
Betty said.
I thought for a moment it was carolers out in this mess.
it must have just been the wind,
said Samuel, looking out at the downpour of snow. But then, a dark figure lunged out from beside the door, knocking Samuel down. It was Dr. Bentley, clutching a knife with wild eyes.
Merry Christmas,
He cried maniacally, pinning Samuel and raising the blade. Thinking fast, Betty seized the urn holding her late husband's ashes on the fireplace mantel, rushed over to Dr. Bentley and cracked it over his head.
Take that, you fiend!
Ouch, damn you all.
Cried Dr. Bentley, now covered in ash. With the front door still open, Bentley reeled from the blow. Samuel kicked the dropped knife onto the snowy ground outside.
Elizabeth, the cooking pan.
He yelled. Elizabeth dumped the green beans from the pan onto the floor, then tossed the pan to Samuel. As Bentley lunged for the knife again, Samuel raised the pan to block him. Seizing the weapon, Bentley turned and fled into the blizzardly night.
After him,
Samuel shouted. Betty grabbed another pan and tossed it to Elizabeth,
I'll call for help!
said Betty.
Thanks, Betty.
Yelled Elizabeth as she took off running up New England Avenue after Samuel pursued Bentley. The snow blew in blinding sheets as they struggled to keep the dark figure in sight. Passing a cheery, slanted house party, Samuel yelled
call the police.
as an onlooker walked to the house. Elizabeth slipped and slid, trying to keep up, as the men's footprints rapidly vanished ahead. Pressing forward against the stinging wind, she found Bentley running on the sidewalk, the knife still in hand. Samuel was racing towards him, pan still raised warily.
It's over, Bentley.
He panted.
No more running.
The doctor just groaned and just kept running. As Dr. Bentley fled into the blizzard night, Samuel spotted him sprinting past the New England Inn and across High Street, nearly getting hit by a passing car. Patrons at the inn walked outside, gasping in shock.
Call the police.
Samuel shouted as he and Elizabeth took off in pursuit, her waving the pan wildly. They repeated the plea to the stunned onlookers. The chase continued up High Street, weaving around startled pedestrians. Dr. Bentley, with the knife in hand, dashed by the Lady Alice salon, with Jane emerging outside in shock.
What's happening?
Jane cried as Elizabeth yelled,
Get the police.
without slowing. At the red and white store, John walked out to see the commotion. He displayed a look of shock as the bizarre scene careened by.
Call for help, John.
Elizabeth implored breathlessly, waving the pan in her hands. She could see Bentley angling towards the water tower now.
He's headed for the tower.
She shouted to Samuel. Her lungs burned from the freezing air, but she pushed on. Reaching the tower's shadow, they discovered Dr. Bentley trying to scale the rungs. But he had only made it partway up the icy ladder.
Enough, Bentley.
Samuel demanded.
There's nowhere left to run. Give up.
Trapped, Dr. Bentley glared down at them, panting, but he kept on climbing up the ladder. The sound was nearly drowned out by the wind. Gripping the icy rungs, Dr. Bentley ascended higher as Samuel climbed determinedly after him. Looking up at the towering water tank, Elizabeth steeled her nerves.
The things I do for love.
She muttered, setting her panhandle around her belt. She then began to follow them up the treacherous ladder. The freezing metal numbed Elizabeth's hands as the winter wind buffeted her. Looking up, Samuel was barely visible through the thickly falling snow. Another blast of air nearly blew Elizabeth clean off the ladder. She clung on desperately, hands cramping, but continued upwards. Finally, she hauled herself onto the platform at the top. Samuel was walking towards Bentley, who stood back against the railings, still with the knife in hand.
Let's talk about this reasonably.
Samuel urged, holding the pan up over the gale. Bentley's eyes darted wildly for an escape. Inching closer, Samuel said gently,
It's over. Ease your conscience and end this peacefully.
Seeing Bentley's despairing look, Elizabeth, now on the platform, felt only pity for the broken man. His reign of shadows had ended. As the blizzard swirled violently atop the tower, a crazed Bentley cried,
You've ruined everything. We were so close to the insurance money and escaping to California. Now you'll pay the price for your meddling.
Thank you for listening to Bradley Barkhurst's Underlying Love, a Worthington, Ohio mystery. Be sure to like and subscribe and purchase the novel. With a crazed Dr. Bentley about to charge, what will Elizabeth and Samuel do to resolve the confrontation at the water tower? Will there be justice in the village of Worthington? And what did you think of Betty's Jell-O recipe? Did it sound delicious? Tune in next time for the final chapter of Underlying Love, a Worthington, Ohio mystery, Chapter 13, Part 2, A Towering Holiday Party.